As a student studying environmental sciences and policy, I find many sections of the bill H.R. 2584 to be concerning for the future health and prosperity of America's natural environments and people. Today, I will address one of my concerns, Section 119, which allows for the delisting of the Wyoming gray wolf without the scientific review mandated by the Endangered Species Act of 1973, and without the possibility for judicial review. Prior to European settlement, wolves ranged from Washington to Vermont and from Montana to Texas. However, by 1930, wolf populations had been extirpated from the lower 48 states, beginning in the 1970s with natural dispersal and continuing in the 1990s with human reintroduction. Wolf populations have been restored in some parts of the western United States. Wolf recovery in Wyoming has shown promise, but delisting from the Endangered Species Act is premature, and the Wyoming Management Plan does not ensure the long-term viability of the species. Wolves are keystone predators, and so protecting wolves ensures not only the success of the species, but also provides significant ecosystem-wide benefits. One of these benefits is the improved health of elk populations. Without wolves, elk populations expand to a size that cannot be sustained by ecosystems. In addition, wolves preferentially prey on old, diseased, and young elk, limiting transmission of diseases such as brucellosis and reducing the number of elk that starve to death at the end of each winter. Wolves also affect multiple levels of the food chain, increasing biodiversity. This is particularly important for riparian areas, which wolves use as corridors. Elk are less likely to forage where there are wolves, meaning that there are more plants in riparian areas when there are wolves. This leads to better beaver habitat, and beavers increase the quantity and quality of riparian areas, leading to more birds and aquatic species, including fish. Wolves also only partially consume their prey, providing food for scavengers throughout the year. This increases the size and diversity of scavenger populations. Finally, since the reintroduction of wolves, coyote populations have reduced by 30 to 50%. This reduction has resulted in a fourfold increase in the pronghorn population. Pronghorn populations have decreased in recent years, and their conservation should be a priority. The Endangered Species Act has been important to wolf conservation. It has protected wolf habitat and the corridors that connect populations. It has also limited human persecution. While shooting wolves is still allowed to protect livestock and property, it has prevented unregulated killings. These killings could be substantial because wolves are extremely unpopular in the western United States for historical reasons and feared loss of livestock, even though this has been shown to be scientifically unjustified. The Northern Rocky Mountain region wolves have met the goals of the 1994 Recovery Plan. However, these goals were shaped mostly by political interest and not the best scientific data. More importantly, the Endangered Species Act only allows for the delisting of species if the reasons for which they are delisted are no longer a factor. Wolves are still at risk from two of the listed criteria: the inadequacy of regulatory mechanisms and other natural and man-made factors, namely human persecution. In the past, delisted species have had at least 1,000 breeding pairs at the time of delisting. Wolves have had only 244 breeding pairs in 2010. Delisted species have also been restored to the majority of their historical range prior to delisting. Wolves have only been restored to 1% of their range in the lower 48 states. All of the species that have been delisted from the Endangered Species Act have increased after delisting. This is unlikely to occur without Endangered Species Act protection because wolves will be managed by the Wyoming Management Plan. This sets a goal for wolf populations in Wyoming for 150 individuals. In 2010, 343 wolves lived in Wyoming. This is a significant reduction of more than 50%, and will mean that wolf densities will be too low to continue to sustain the ecological benefits that have been demonstrated since the reintroduction of wolves. The Wyoming Management Plan also does not include a means to protect corridors between wolf populations. In 2010, genetic diversity was high in all wolf populations, but dispersal primarily occurred along corridors, and habitat loss is occurring rapidly in Wyoming. In addition, Wyoming wolves are more genetically isolated than other populations. The smaller populations stipulated by the Wyoming Management Plan will also limit the ability of these wolves to disperse. Isolated populations of Florida panthers of similar size have shown significant declines in their ability to reproduce due to genetic bottlenecks. Population models considering reduced size and dispersal ability of wolves have predicted their extirpation in less than 10 years. Since reintroduction, wolves have provided significant ecological benefits to the environments in which they reside. I believe that they should continue to be listed under the Endangered Species Act of 1973 because their delisting is unwarranted by the best available scientific data. In addition, the Wyoming Management Plan will likely lead to their extirpation from the state. Thank you.